My name is NascarJarrod. I've been a NASCAR fan for about 15 years, and I want to start talking about the races with all of you. And hopefully we can have some fun interactions, and hopefully I do a good enough job. Tell me what you need to do to improve in the comments, and let's get started with the preview for the Mobil 1 301 at Hampshire Motor Speedway. So starting out with the top 10 starters, Joey Logano won the pole with 29.159, almost 2 tenths better than Ryan Blaney, who's going to start second. In third will be Josh Berry, who was up top most of that run until his teammates came out and swiped the pole away from him. In fourth will end up being Tyler Reddick, good run for that 2311 driver. In fifth will be William Byron, who's having a good run at one of his worst tracks so far, at least in the next gen era. In sixth will be Carson Hocevar, or as Lee Diffie calls him, the Hurricane. So we'll see what kind of chaos he may create tomorrow. Seventh, Alex Bowman. So now he's going to have a good qualifying run after he's been eliminated from the playoffs. Typical Bowman, man. Eighth will be Ross Chastain. Very surprising considering they were struggling with the car in practice. Ninth, Denny Hamlin. If he's starting out there, Denny's going to be a threat for today's race. In 10th, SVG. Yeah, I know, I'm shocked by it too. But with SVG, getting better at the ovals, but unfortunately with him, he's already been eliminated. So we'll have to see how it goes. And with qualifying outside the top 10 of the major playoff drivers, Bubba Wallace is qualifying 14th with not bad. You've got Kyle Larson in 16th with not bad. I mean, could have been better. Shockingly, Chase Briscoe, 18th, which, especially with him already have 6 poles this year, that's slow. In 19th, Christopher Bell. Like, what? This is supposed to be like his bread and butter track. Like, he's been dominating this car with this car and track combo the next gen era so far. And in 22nd, not really a surprise, Austin Cindric. He's been about qualifying about there this whole playoff run besides that Bristol race. And in 27th, Chase Elliott. Like, what is up with that team, guys? Like, they need to figure this out now, because if they don't figure it out this round, they may get lucky and get through, but they're not going to the Final Four. So last year's race was weird because it was raining halfway towards the last third of the race, through everything, through rents and everything, and the top 10 is kind of weird, other than the winner. Bell being the winner last year, not a surprise. He loves this place. Second, Chase Briscoe in an SHR car. So we'll see what he does in JGR car today, because this is way better equipment. In third, Josh Berry, also in SHR car last year, which was not good. So he's in way better Penske equipment. Will we see a Berry win today? That would not surprise me in a bit, considering short track racer, Penske, flat track dominance. We'll see. In fourth was Kyle Larson. Kind of ran about that all day. Never could really challenge Bell for the win, or Briscoe. Fifth was Chris Buescher. So Buescher tends to be pretty good at when chaos reigns. RFK's been better, but none of those cars made the playoffs. We'll see how they do today. In sixth was Tyler Reddick. So that was back when he was doing better last year. This year has been more of a struggle. So we'll see how today goes. Maybe finally be the spark he needs to go on that run back to the Final Four. And seventh and eighth, shockingly, was two guys that rarely run the top 10, Ricky Stenhouse and John Nemechek. They took advantage of the chaos last year when the rain came down and got those top 10s. In ninth was Mark Truex Jr., but he's gone now, so we'll see what ends up happening with the 19 today, because if the driver finished second, the car finished ninth, that must mean the driver should help the car better today, but every race is different. And in 10th was Ross Chastain, grinding out those top 10s. That's like his specialty. So one thing you're going to look for at the race today was the only time all the drivers ran the same lap averages was all the same. Some ran longer, but everybody at least ran 10 laps. And with those top 10 runs, you had Blaney was first in that. Byron was second. Larson was sixth. Elliott ninth. Hamlin or sixth. Elliott eighth. Hamlin ninth. Logano was 16th. Reddick 17th. Bubba was 22nd. 19 was 24th. The 20 was 28th. 2 was 30th, and the 1 was 31st. So a couple notes with that. The Toyota cars seemed to be a little better on the long run, but it was really the Penske cars. Like Blaney was fast on the long run. So this race has a green flag feel to it, or even a short run feel to it. Blaney's going to be good all day as long as he doesn't get caught back in traffic, along with that 22. And that's going to be the name of the game for a lot of people. You get up front, get clean air, your cars are going to feel a lot better than going to be stuck in traffic, because New Hampshire, especially the way it tends to be, this hard to pass, 1.5 lanes. So it'll be interesting to see who can come up with the right strategy. And so we're going to talk next about average finish here in the three previous races. So we got to remember, some of these guys actually were running better, but they got caught up in incidents. They had other things happen. So Larson's been the best with an average finish of 7. I mean, he hasn't led a lot of laps in this, but that's about right where he's been. Then you have Chase Briscoe in 9, which is honestly really good considering those 3 races were in SCR equipment. Then the 20 with a 10.3, but that's a big old asterisk because he's won 2 out of the 3 races here. And that other race, he got caught up in an accident while still having top 10 in stage both times in stage points. So Bell, he's going to be looking good again. Then Elliott with a 10.7, but the way the 9 car's been running, I don't know, man. Is that even indicative of how they're going to run today? And then Reddick with an 11, that's about right. He's been pretty top 10 here, so we'll see how that ends up going. Hamlin for 12.3. That's another asterisk because he was running well last year. Then the rain came, and then he didn't know how to drive in the rain. So he was running well before that, but we'll see what ends up happening. And then Ross Chastain for 13.7, middle of the pack. And how he's been in Trackhouse for the last few years. Bubba Wallace with 15, but that's another asterisk because he has a 3rd and an 8th and then a wreck. So if Bubba can end up avoiding the wreck, he'll be good here again today too. And then the 2 cars a 19th average finish here, which is about right. And then the 22 is a 19.3. Penske has not been good here until the tire test. Now they look like amazing, like they are in Phoenix. 24. This has been William Byron's weakest track in the next-gen car, only a 20.3. He's been caught up in accidents, not running well here. So Byron's goal today is to have a clean race, get through it, get some stage points, and move on to Kansas, where they've been pretty dang good there. The Hendrick cars have been pretty dang good there. And then last would be Blaney for 21.7. But the thing about Blaney, though, is average finish don't matter with Blaney because he's got so many DNS this year, but before those DNS, he'll get bunch of stage points. So that stat, throw it out the window. That 12 car is going to look good today. Speaking of this playoff standings, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney all have a semi-comfortable lead. They all at least have a couple stages worth of points advantage right now. But early wreck, late wreck, they fall to the back, they're going to be in trouble because this round's going to be more about top 10. And you get top 10s, you're going to move on. But if you have one bad race, you could be in some major trouble. If you're Briscoe on down to Reddick, you're going to have some major problems. You're the Ryan Blaney to Denny Hamlin, you have a little bit of a gremlin to play with, but you don't want to really use it if you don't have to because it can change in a hurry. So some things to keep an eye on with today's race. Keep an eye out for that Penske speed, especially on the long run. Like the 22 and the 12, like they were, the tire test, they said the 22 is ridiculous. I mean, he's on pole on short run speed, so how's it going to be when he and the 12 run away from everybody early on? And then the other thing, how is Elliott going to get through his qualifying struggles? What strategy are they going to pull to try and get stage points in the top 10? Because they need stage points because they're already right here on the cut line and they're going to be well back. They're going to be last here when the race starts. So they're going to have to find a way through quick if they want to be able to stay alive the next couple of races. The other thing is the pit strategy. With tires not really wearing that much, I mean, in a 30-lap run, they only lost 3.5, 4 tenths of a second. So with that end up being the case, how's tire strategy going to play out? When do the yellows fall? The yellows fall just before the stages. You going to go gamble for stage points? You going to stay out there trying to get stage points? Or are you going to get tires and set yourself up for stage 2 or stage 3 in order to get a better position to win the race and gain more points in the long run? And then the other thing, can JGR go 4 for 4? Because if that's the case, the other teams are in trouble because that means they've been winning at all these tracks that are the non-traditional ones. And these are the tracks that are going to be in the finale with Martinsville and Phoenix being the last couple flat tracks. And then lastly, we're going to do my pick for the race. So the Penske cars look really good. So odds would say, as long as Blaney doesn't run into trouble, that 12 car will get the win today, move on to the round of 8, and get set up for the chaos that will be that round of 8. All right, guys, enjoy the race today. Hopefully your driver does well. Have a good day.